Hi, I'm Victoria Rodriguez, and I picked a social support group on body image and eating disorder for women of all ages. Hold on a second. And this support group was located on Facebook, and I did have to request to join it, which it didn't take long to get back, except that I was accepted in 2 days when I checked. But I think I was maybe accepted even the day before, so it didn't take long to accept me. This support group has 3.6K members, and you had the choice to be anonymous, but some people weren't, which I loved. It just got us all closer. The admin page had a few rules, so no professional help. So like no one's gonna be able to diagnose you on Facebook with your posts. Vent and talk about your experience. So talk about your past or what's happening to you now and how you're coping it or dealing with it, and like just for people to connect with you, and then to just be nice and listen to what other people say and help them out. Common questions were, has anyone else experienced this? So usually they would talk about their personal like experience, and then they would ask like for someone like relating back to them, like, is anyone else feeling this? Like, how have you coped with it and stuff like that. Does anyone have trouble eating? Because it was about eating disorders. So basically asking like, if you are having trouble eating, like what do you do to make yourself eat? Or it's like how to gain weight or how to lose weight. What did they eat? What kind of foods? Where do you shop? Where do you go? When should I eat? How should I eat? Smaller meals, bigger meals, and just stuff like that. It's just basically about eating. What I found next was social support found. So this was an anonymous member talking about body image, and the person posted, sometimes I look at my body and doesn't feel like it's measuring up they want it to be. They find little details comparing it and focusing on flaws rather than strengths, and how it's hard to feel at home and its own skin when you see things that you don't like. And I feel like this person really helps, saying how they're not alone and to feel that way. Many people struggle with this exact feeling at their body and seeing what's wrong instead of everything that allows them to do and everything that's carried them through. So, for example, they said, notice I'm being really hard on myself right now. That small shift from I hate my body to I'm struggling with my body image right now opens a door of compassion, which is true. And also, one thing I really did like was like giving an example of like the legs, saying these legs help me move rather than saying like, oh, like my thighs are too fat or something like that, and like I don't like how they look or they're too skinny. Just like thinking positive other ways rather than doubting themselves, which I thought was really like helpful, and it makes the person actually think beyond the box of what your body does for you. Because not a lot of people think about their body, they think about how it looks. Your body does a lot for you, and just a look, love your body. It's just a look. But I thought this was really important. And also, I loved how she said at the end, saying that she was a therapist and that they can connect to if she needs someone to talk, or she or he needs someone to talk to, which I loved. Next, I found informational support. So this was a member talking about how to gain weight, saying how she's been trying to gain weight, and I dropped into a healthy meal. I have gained some of it back, but try to make sure I eat enough. But does anyone else have this problem eating enough? And someone commented saying, yeah, it can be really hard to eat enough. Sometimes you can try to increase the energy density rather than the volume, saying meat, oily fish, dairy, nuts, seeds. They're really energy dense foods, so you need less of them to reach the same calorie input. Best of luck, which I thought was really informational of how she knew all those things, because honestly didn't know that. So that's helping them trying to gain back their weight. And when you drop to a very low weight, your appetite will most likely be infected, which is true. If you eat on a regular schedule every day, your body will learn to expect food, and you will feel hungry soon, which is true because if you don't eat as much in a day, won't feel as hungry anymore. But if you still eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner and a snack throughout the day, you're still gonna have your appetite. So, which is very true. So, I really thought it was informational of how to gain some weight back when you lost some. And then emotional support, saying I've been feeling it's been super hard week with body dysmorphia. I felt a certain way causing me to picture myself, a certain way causing me to convince myself. I looked a certain body shape type wise. I've spiraled. I'm disgusted with myself when I eat and I think I'm gross to begin with. And now, even though my dietitian has said I'm malnourished. In the bottom left corner, the first comment that popped up was that you're not alone. I feel the same way as well. It's your voice talking over your head and try to focus on how it isn't your voice. Trust me, sometimes it helps me. Just keep going. I thought that was very like emotional. Like she's also going through the same thing and that she's giving her advice that helps her cope with her feeling that way. And just pushing her and saying, try that out. And also, one of the comments also kind of says the same thing I'm having. That's what my body. This is my body dysmorphia voice, which I thought is so true. And then another person saying, "You're not alone." And we can learn to see ourselves differently. I've been working on this for many years. I've it's hard, but self-compassion may be learned and it softens our perspective. Would love to talk to you, message me about it. So I feel like a lot of people have connected with this post and saying how to get through it and being there for her and also just talking to them about their experience, also about body dysmorphia and just relating to each other. So I thought that was really nice that everyone was reaching out to her and saying what to do or what to think about through those hard times. Okay. And then overall learning from this support group. So the first bullet I got was how much people are there for you and listen to what you have to say, even when you don't know them, which is so true because also it's half of them are anonymous, half of them are people, and you don't know any of these people, and everyone's just like relating to you and like, well, and that's the same thing on the second bullet, how many people are feeling the same thing as you, but connect to them since you can relate. I feel like those two go hand in hand because you don't know the person, but you guys are feeling the same way, and you guys are like reaching out to each other, commenting on each other's posts, and then maybe even sometimes even DMing them and getting to know this girl and how they both can figure out through these hard times, which I think is like one of the biggest things I loved about this support group. Showing them love and kindness helps that person, even if it's just a sentence, that goes a long way because even they can be feeling so upset, and you never know. Like you saying the tiniest sentence can make them feel like have the best day ever. You never know. And then just giving people confidence to feel better about themselves. At the end of the day, people are going through stuff. You just want to make them to feel better, like not make them feel worse. And which I love about this support group. Like everyone was so there for each other, reaching out to each other, commenting, and I liked it. And I really enjoyed reading all of these posts. And to talk and ask questions when you don't know the answer does always help. When you don't know something and you want to talk about it, literally someone will have the answer and can help you find something new that you didn't know and honestly could change your life, which I really loved. And I really loved this support group and I enjoyed this project very much.